Episode 6 of The Apartment Job shifts the story from lighthearted deception into a much darker conspiracy. What begins as a desperate attempt to keep Hae-kang's fake family from being exposed quickly develops into a massive financial scandal, a brutal murder, and a dangerous alliance that could change everything. By the end of the episode, it becomes clear that the corruption inside the apartment complex is only a small part of a much larger operation controlled by powerful people who have been manipulating residents for years. The episode opens with Hae-kang's carefully constructed life falling apart. Mrs. Jang accidentally discovers that the family he introduced to everyone is completely fake. Considering how much trust she placed in him, the revelation comes as a huge betrayal. Hae-kang's assistants desperately try to stop her from spreading the truth before the entire apartment complex learns about the deception, creating one of the more humorous sequences in an otherwise increasingly serious episode. Meanwhile, Ha-jung once again considers leaving her secret side job behind. At the same time, Hari finds herself working even harder to maintain the illusion that she is both Hae-kang's wife and the mother of his child. Every lie they tell only makes the situation more complicated, and Episode 6 constantly reminds viewers that these fake identities cannot survive forever. The following morning, Hae-kang attempts to repair the damage by speaking directly with Mrs. Jang. She refuses to believe him at first, but Hae-kang has already prepared for this conversation. Earlier, he rehearsed every word with Hari, showing just how carefully he plans every move. He tells an emotional story about his father, known as the Lizard, describing him as a hopeless womanizer whose complicated personal life forced Hae-kang to hide the truth. Whether every detail is genuine or not is almost beside the point. Hae-kang understands that people often trust emotion more than facts. His performance succeeds just enough for Mrs. Jang to agree to give him one more week to prove himself. Although this appears to resolve the immediate problem, the fake family storyline is really setting up a larger theme. Throughout the series, Hae-kang has been forced to lie for what he believes is the greater good. Every success comes at the cost of another deception, and Episode 6 suggests those lies will eventually have serious consequences. Away from the family drama, Hae-kang continues investigating the missing reserve funds. After meeting with the Lizard, they reach an important conclusion. While someone could have secretly withdrawn money from the apartment accounts over time, that alone does not explain why every account has been emptied completely. The only logical explanation is that someone with enormous financial influence has been secretly funding projects behind the scenes. If the apartment's official reserve fund is exhausted but construction and maintenance continue without interruption, then another hidden source of money must exist. This becomes Hae-kang's next objective. His strategy is surprisingly clever. Rather than trying to prove who is stealing the money directly, he decides to force management into revealing their secret backer. If the reserve fund is used up and repairs somehow continue anyway, then whoever is financing the operation will expose themselves. To make this happen, Hae-kang and his team begin searching the apartment complex for every possible maintenance issue. They even create small repair jobs themselves so they can justify spending from the reserve fund. It is a risky plan, but it offers the best chance of uncovering whoever is truly controlling the complex. Unfortunately, their proposal immediately meets resistance. During a meeting with the building representatives, Mr. Seo and his loyal supporters reject almost every repair request. At first, their behavior simply appears obstructive, but the episode later reveals there is a far more selfish reason behind their opposition. Elsewhere, Chung-won quietly monitors everything from a distance. After receiving information about Hae-kang's earlier visit to the bank, Chung-won completely misreads his intentions. He concludes that Hae-kang became apartment president simply to steal the reserve fund for himself. This misunderstanding becomes extremely important because it causes both men to begin investigating one another. Each believes the other is hiding something, creating an intense psychological battle where neither side fully understands the other's true motives. Frustrated by the failed meeting, Hae-kang consults the lizard once again. The lizard offers another valuable insight. He suggests that Mr. Seo must be controlling his supporters through some kind of hidden benefit. Otherwise, there would be no reason for so many residents to defend him so aggressively. Hae-kang orders his assistants to investigate. At first, they search electricity bills, hoping to uncover suspicious discounts or missing payments, but nothing unusual appears. The breakthrough comes from an unexpected source. Hari notices something everyone else overlooked. Several heating bills show absolutely no heating charges at all. Once she begins comparing records, the scale of the fraud becomes astonishing. A total of 123 households have paid nothing for heating during the past 6 years. These are not random apartments. Every single one belongs to residents supporting Mr. Seo. The implication is enormous. While these households enjoyed free heating, every other resident unknowingly covered the cost through inflated bills. Ordinary families have effectively been subsidizing a carefully selected group of loyal supporters for years. This discovery completely changes the conflict. What previously looked like neighborhood politics is revealed as a sophisticated corruption scheme built on rewarding loyalty with financial benefits. Even worse, these same residents were responsible for spreading malicious rumors about Hae-kang throughout the apartment complex. Their loyalty was never based on trust or friendship. It was purchased through years of financial fraud. Once Hae-kang understands the truth, he immediately decides to expose everything. Mrs. Jang carefully calculates the missing payments and reaches a staggering figure. The heating scam has resulted in fraudulent charges worth 1.23 billion. That number transforms what appeared to be local corruption into a criminal operation involving enormous amounts of money. News of the scandal throws the management office into complete chaos. Residents who trusted the management suddenly realize they have been paying someone else's bills for years. But the scandal reaches even higher. Among the households receiving free heating is Chung-won's luxurious penthouse. That single detail confirms he is directly connected to the fraud. Realizing public opinion is turning against him, Chung-won quickly changes tactics. Instead of denying the allegations, he offers to repay everything. On the surface, this appears responsible. In reality, it is a calculated attempt to end the investigation before anyone uncovers where the missing money actually went. Hae-kang refuses to let that happen. He insists the payments must first be verified and then fairly distributed back to the residents who were overcharged. His response threatens to expose the entire financial network. That is the moment Chung-won decides someone has become too dangerous to leave alive. Mr. Seo has served his purpose. He knows too much. Rather than allowing him to become a potential witness, Chung-won murders him without hesitation. It is the most shocking moment of the episode because it completely changes the audience's understanding of Chung-won. Until now, he has appeared ruthless but controlled. Episode 6 reveals that protecting his operation matters more than human life. After the murder, Chung-won orders Mr. Kim to dispose of the body at Taegawon. Earlier episodes briefly showed Chung-won tending trees there, making the location seem peaceful and insignificant. Now its true purpose becomes horrifying. The tree farm doubles as a burial ground where inconvenient people can disappear forever. This revelation gives earlier scenes an entirely new meaning. What once looked like an ordinary hobby now appears deeply sinister. Fate intervenes almost immediately. Mr. Choi is scheduled to meet Mr. Seo only a short time later. Instead, he unknowingly arrives near the burial site. Hae-kang's men secretly follow him and begin investigating Taegawon. Their search uncovers another critical piece of the puzzle. Taegawon is not simply a tree farm. It belongs to TS Networks. Even more importantly, TS Networks is connected to TACE and construction. Both companies helped build the True Value apartment complex. This discovery expands the conspiracy far beyond apartment management. The corruption reaches into the companies responsible for constructing the development itself, suggesting the financial fraud may have existed from the very beginning. Determined to confront whoever is responsible, Hae-kang visits the company president. To his surprise, that president is Chung-won himself. Meanwhile, another storyline quietly reminds viewers that ordinary life continues despite everything happening around the investigation. Hari receives a call informing her that Jae-wook has developed a fever. It is a brief scene, but it reinforces the emotional burden carried by the fake family. Even while uncovering corruption and navigating dangerous secrets, they are still forced to deal with everyday responsibilities. The episode also creates fresh tension when Ha-jong overhears management staff referring to Hari as Hae-kang's wife. This seemingly small moment hints that the fake family secret is once again at risk of being exposed. The final confrontation between Hae-kang and Chung-won is built almost entirely on psychological warfare. Neither man openly reveals everything he knows. Instead, they test one another through carefully chosen questions. Chung-won mentions both the stolen relics and Hae-kang's visit to the bank. In that instant, Hae-kang realizes his investigation has not gone unnoticed. His opponent has been watching him just as closely. Recognizing the danger, Hae-kang makes an unexpected decision. Instead of continuing the confrontation, he offers to become Chung-won's right-hand man. At first glance, the proposal feels like betrayal. However, the episode deliberately leaves his true intentions uncertain. There are two possible interpretations. The first is that Hae-kang has realized he cannot defeat Chung-won from the outside. By pretending to join him, he may hope to infiltrate the organization and gather evidence from within. The second possibility is even more dangerous. Chung-won may already know Hae-kang is lying and could be accepting the offer simply to keep his greatest enemy under constant surveillance. Either way, both men now understand they are playing a dangerous game where one mistake could prove fatal. The ending also confirms that the apartment complex itself is only one piece of a much larger conspiracy involving construction companies, hidden financial networks, corrupt management, and murder. What started as an investigation into missing maintenance funds has evolved into a battle against powerful people willing to manipulate entire communities and eliminate anyone who threatens their secrets. Episode 6 therefore marks a major turning point for the apartment job. The story is no longer simply about exposing dishonest apartment managers. It has become a high-stakes thriller where corruption reaches the highest levels, trusted allies can become victims overnight, and Hae-kang must risk everything by stepping directly into the enemy's inner circle. As the series moves forward, the biggest question is no longer whether Hae-kang can uncover the truth. It is whether he can survive long enough to expose it before Chung-won realizes exactly what game he is playing.